Hi everyone, so today I want to show you how I made this card. Now I'm calling it a 6x6 staggered central concertina card. It's basically exactly the same pieces as we had for that candle card, the 6x6 staggered concertina card, but this is a staggered central concertina card because everything's in the center. So it's literally the same as the staggered concertina card, but this one, as I said, it's just all central. So it's really easy to do. I've really simplified this one down this time. So before, when we had this strip along the bottom, I actually did mats and layers for everything. You had all the squares, you had everything, and it was really, really busy. But for this one, I thought, let me try it with 200 GSM card and just see if we can do it so you don't have to have all those mats and pattern layers. And actually it means that it's not quite so bulky, so that would actually fit. If it wasn't for this on the front, it would actually fit through the post in the UK. So yeah, so it's really quite easy to do, and also because I've got the pattern paper, I haven't had to decorate it very much. And I've also decided I was going to use these dies. So these are from, here are my other three I didn't use. How beautiful are they? Oh my goodness. I'm absolutely in love with these snowflakes. They're so different from all other snowflake dies that I've got. So these dies, set of 6, they were from Kokorosa Studio. And I'll just show you them now quickly. I'm going to do a separate video on all the dies that I got, but since I've used them on this card, I thought I may as well show you. So these are the dies. They cut so well. I was a bit worried because obviously they're so intricate. If you look at that, they're just so intricate. But they've actually cut really well. And and this card as well is quite a thick card. It's about 300 GSM holographic mirror. And I was a bit concerned it wasn't going to cut very well, but they've cut really well. I literally did one pass in my Gemini and they went through fine. Obviously, if you've got because Gemini does tend to be a good machine anyway, if you've got a big shot or I don't know, different one, you might need a couple of passes, but to be honest, I had no problems with them. I was really impressed. So that's what I've used on there, and then on the front I've just used this die. It's also a Kokorosa Studio die. Beautiful, again, no problems cutting at all, and I love it. So you can have it either way. That way is probably best because your stars are right way up, but I really wanted them coming down from the ceiling, so I do have an upside down star. If you wanted to, you could probably doctor it, so I probably could have cut down there and then turn the star round, and I think next time I might do that. So for all these are upside down, but whatever. But yeah, quite cute. So so that's the front of my card. Kept it nice and simple, and then you open it up on the inside and you've got this. The papers that I used on here is this pad. It's the first edition Arctic Wonder pad. It's from last Christmas 2021. Yes, it's 2021. And it's a beautiful pad. So this is what I used, and I didn't really do the whole mats and layers thing like I did with the candle. I've just literally used the papers and they're doing the shining for themselves, and I actually think it works quite well. I was a bit concerned it wasn't going to work because I do like having a border, I like having a mat and a layer, but it works fine. I'm happy with it. So because the papers are so busy that they all kind of go together and it works really, really nicely. So yeah, and then you've got space on the back to write. The whole card fits in an envelope for a 6x6 card because the footprint is 6x6. If you want to size it down, you can. So if 6x6 is too big for you, you can size it down. All you need to do is on the inside where you've got these strips, just make sure that whatever length strip you choose is obviously the length of your card, blank, but it's also, you can divide it up into 6. And then this one you just divide into 4. Okay, so it's just that's all you do. It's very simple to do, but yeah, just needs a bit of maths really to work it out. But yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, so for this card, you're going to need pretty much the same bits you needed for the card that I made with the candles. So it's pretty much the same as that. As you can see, I've cut out some beautiful snowflakes using those new Kokorosa Studio dies. And they're just beautiful. I mean, what else can you say? They're just beautiful. I love them. They're very different from any snowflake I've got, and I'm very pleased about that. And they're just beautiful, and they cut so well. And I'm also going to be using this one as well, which is also one of the Kokorosa Studio dies. You could have it that way up, you could have it any way up really. That way up, you could do all sorts of things with it. I'm going to be having it dangling down, And again, it cut really well. So that's wonderful. So that's that. Right, so what we're going to need is, we are going to need one piece of 6 by 12. If you haven't got any 12 by 12 cardstock, that's fine. You can use a 6 by 6 card blank, because if you open it up, that will be 6 by 12. So all we're going to do with this is we're going to score it halfway at 6 inches. Okay, so I've scored it at 6 inches, which makes it a 6 by 6 card blank. If I just fold it up properly. Okay, so that's that bit. We'll come to the mats and layers in a minute. And then the other bits that you need, that you're going to score, are it's exactly the same pieces you had for the candle card. So this is a 2 by 12. And again, if you use a 6 by 6 card blank, open it up and just cut it. You could make 3 lots out of it, basically, because you know, 2, 4, 6. So on this one, you're just going to score every 2 inches. So you're going to score 2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches, 8 inches, and 10 inches. Okay, then you're going to need another piece that's 4 by 8, and this one you're going to score every 2 inches at 2 inches, 4 inches, and 6 inches. Now I've actually simplified this right down. So normally with the candle one, I had lots of mats and layers and things. With this one, I've kind of kept it really simple. It won't be as sturdy as if you did all your mats and layers, but I thought that it might cut down on the wodge, so that's why I've done it this way. So I'll show you my prototype quickly. This is the prototype. Obviously you've already seen the finished card, but this is my prototype. So I literally thought what I'll do is I'll have my backing, you know, my card blank, and I'll use double-sided card for that, which is what I've done here. So I've used double-sided cards. I've got the script on one side and the snowflakes on the inside. So then on the inside, I've gone for this one, which is actually double-sided, but didn't need to be. Could be single-sided. So that's going to be my Merry Christmas. And then this is also double-sided, but didn't need to be. It's going to go across the front there. So I thought I'd just do that. If you were going to use, you know, you wanted to mat and layer it, you can do that as well. And if you want to do that, just use the exact same mats and, well, actually, no, I wouldn't use the exact same mats and layers you did for the candle card. What I would do is, if you're going to decorate the inside of this and you're going to do all your little mats and layers, then what I would do, and I'm going to put it up on the screen now, I'm obviously not using this, but just so you've got the measurements, if you want to do it, you would need to fully decorate the inside, then you would need 2 mats that are 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 to go here, and 2 patterns that are 5 1/2 by 5 1/2 to go here. Then on here you would need 4 mats that are 1 3/4 by 3 3/4, and 4 patterns that are 1 1/2 by 3 1/2, and they would go on those panels there. And then on this, you would need 6 mat layers that are 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and 6 pattern layers that are 1 1/2 by 1 1/2. So if you want to do that, you can. Okay, now before we go ahead and stick all this in, I'm going to do the front and the back. So obviously on the front, you will need 2 mats that are 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, 1 pattern that's 5 1/2 by 5 1/2, and then depending on what colour your mat is, you would also need 1 white card that is 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. I've just gone for the mat because my mat is 5 3/4, but I'm using that as my you know, card that you write on. So I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to stick this onto the front there. I'm going to stick that onto the front there, and then I'm going to go ahead and stick my message part on the back. Okay, so that's my front done and my back. This stamp was off a set of stamps, and I don't know where they were from. I think they were from a magazine, but I'm not sure. So then on the inside, what we're going to do is we're going to start with this one. So this is the 4 by 8, and just need to valley, mountain, valley, fold. So you end up with a concertina piece like that. Then on this one, you can do the same again. So it's going to be a valley, mountain, valley, mountain, valley, all the way along. Okay, so you end up with that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our card base. Now, obviously, if you've got mats and layers, then you know it's going to be slightly different. But you know, obviously, if you've got mats and layers, then obviously decorate everything up. So put your decorations on here. You know, put your mats and layers. Do your mats and layers on your panels. Get everything ready to go. And then when you've done that, you want to turn this sideways, and along this bottom edge, you're just going to mark at 3 inches. Just a little mark at 3 inches, and that's basically halfway. And then if you take your panel, just make a mark at 1 inch, because you want to marry those two up in a minute. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to put a bit of glue on here. You could use red tape. You want something strong, so either glue or red tape is fine. So we're going to put some glue on, and then we're going to turn it around, and where the halfway dot is on your strip here, you want to marry that up with the halfway dot on your card blank, and then just spread this right out and make sure it's nice and straight. If you're not sure where it is, then I would just make a little mark on the other side and just make sure that they both marry up. Those line up, so it's about there. Okay, so that should be straight, hopefully. Okay, so once you've done that and you've stuck it and it's stuck down and it's not wonky and it's fine, yeah, mine is good, you're going to do what we did before. So you're going to concertina all that up like that, and then this one is going to go here, and again you want to make sure that it's central. Now you can either measure it or you can just eye it. I'm actually just going to eye it because I've got this to go by and I know that that is definitely central. It makes it a little bit easier to you know, sort of do it by eye rather than measuring. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to just butt this right up to that folded edge there, and again just make sure it's nice and as central as you can be, and it's also straight. This is why wet glue is a good idea, because if you use wet glue you can wiggle it around a bit. So I think about there. Fabulous. So now we are going to fold it up like this, and then we're going to glue on this bit here. Is that the same as the candle card that we did? It's just that you're putting it central rather than along the bottom of the card. So I'm just going to do this like that, and then we're going to close the card on top like that. And I've got a little bit here sticking out, but that's fine, I can trim that off. And then we'll open it up, and there are all your pieces all stuck into place. Now, one thing that obviously you might find, as I've found, is this sometimes goes off to one side. So if you're worried about that, you can put a little tab in, but obviously because I'm not decorating, I'm not using mats and layers, I've got nothing to hide the tab in, so you know, behind. So I'm just going to leave it as it is, it's fine. And then all you need to do now is decorate. So I'm going to go ahead and stick a whole load of snowflakes on inside. And I'm also going to put a happy Christmas in somewhere as well. Yeah, see, you see, I think you just saw that then. It did a little bit of it went down that side there, but it's fine. If you open it up sort of fully, it kind of is okay, but it does tend to shush off sometimes to one side. So I'm just going to decorate up with some snowflakes. I'm going to have some here, some on here, and just make sure that where you've got, say for example like here, if you've got that coming off there, then when this closes up, you just want to make sure that it doesn't poke out the side. So if I've got something here, does that mean that's going to poke out? So just be aware of that. So it might be that you want to just you know, trim a little bit off, or bend it around the corner, or have it on this one instead, or I don't know, whatever. Just make sure that it doesn't, you know, doesn't do that. Right, I'm going to go ahead now and just stick these down. Okay, so I went ahead and added a few snowflakes. I've had to bend that one round, which I wasn't that happy about, but it's either that or having it sticking out the card. So, or I could trim it off. I thought that might look odd. So anyway, that's how we've got it. So I'm just going to add a greeting. Now I've got a happy holidays greeting, which again, not that happy about. I'd rather use a happy Christmas or a Merry Christmas, but I like the font on that one and it fits. So that's what we're going to go with. So I'm going to go ahead now and just add, I've got these foam pads, these are dot and dab ones, and they're only 1mm thick. So any kind of, thin foam pad would be great for this kind of thing. You don't want too much bulk because it's right in the middle of your card and you run the risk of having a strip that gets deformed because of having foam pads in the way. Okay, so I've added my happy holidays in, so let's fold it up. Yep, it fits, that's good. Okay, so that's the inside of it. And then if we shut it up on the front, I'm just going to add my stars. And I also had a Merry Christmas. That seems to have gone walkies, but anyway, I did have a Merry Christmas, so I will find that. And that's going to go on as well. Oh, it's here. So I'm going to go ahead now and stick this on and then add my greeting. Okay, so I've stuck my stars down, so now I'm going to go ahead and stick my greeting, and I'm going to stick it right in the middle of this star here, because I feel like that's the best place to put it. There we go. And there's my Merry Christmas. So that's that. So I could have put it somewhere else. I would prefer that the star was the right way up, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. It's not that important. Yeah, and then you open it up and there's your inside. So there's lots of things you can do. You've got space to write on the back. There's lots of things you can do on the inside here. You really could go to town. And as I said, if you want to decorate it up a bit more, you can. So you can put all your layers in. I haven't, and actually using, because this is 200 GSM card. This is the Arctic Wonder pad from last Christmas, 2021. And yeah, it's not too bad. That's quite good. I could easily, in the UK, if it wasn't for this, I could easily post that because it's not that thick. There's a bit of bulk, but that would go through. So yeah, so it's really up to you what you do. And as I say, it does go off to one side a little bit sometimes, but you just tweak it. It's fine. Put a tab in if it really bothers you. But yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed today. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. And yeah, we'll see you again next time. Bye.